Where are we now, Alice?
At Rhode Island.
Yep, we're in Rhode Island, about to pick up 15 boxes of really cheap comics. They are $17 a long box, which is just absurdly cheap. Let's go. So here's all the comics, 15 long boxes, $17 a piece roughly, and $2.50 total. So pretty great deal. But Alice, where are we now?
We are now at Shady Acres.
Yeah, this is where I took Lucas about, I don't know, maybe a month ago. No, we're good. So we're gonna get some good diner food and also get some, what are we gonna get after lunch?
Ice cream?
Yeah, get some ice cream too at Shady Acres here on the Connecticut-Rhode Island border. How's that maze going, Alice?
I finished.
That was quick. You like this place?
Yeah.
Love the neat decor they have. It's just out over here. I'm in a little private corner. Do you like the iguana? Luke, you like the, or you want to take a picture of the cactus? There's a lot more people here today. I think they have some books over here too. You want a coloring book? Hey, look. We got that for Lucas when he was here. He would like that. Do you want to color this?
No.
Look, they got cars down there. Do you see the lobsters? Rock lobsters. Very cool. That cactus. And the flamingos. It's a nice place, isn't it? Alright, Alice, we finished our lunch. Now what's the time for?
Ice cream.
Say cheese. Say ice cream. Alright, so let's look at all the wonderful flavors they have. Lucas loved this place. So they got an ice cream sandwich and raspberry lemonade, but they also have vanilla, chocolate, coffee, maple, walnut, strawberry, pistachio, sea salt, caramel, truffle, purple cow, which I think that might have been what Lucas got, black raspberry, or maybe he got that, moose trackers, which is new, chocolate chip cookie dough, minced chocolate chip, or raspberry sorbet. What do you think you'll get?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
All right, you know what you do here?
Ring the bell.
Yeah. How was the ice cream, Alice?
Good.
Let's check out the playground, Alice.
Okay.
These are the swings that Lucas went on. Those are swings for you, I guess. This ladder's missing a rung. That's why I didn't let Lucas go on here. It's missing a rung.
He doesn't really know how to climb that.
Think I could climb this thing?
saw the giant bug.
Well, what is that thing? It's huge.
This is the place for me.
So here are the 15 boxes that I purchased. Again, this cost $250 for all of this. So about $17 per box, roughly. This is the second cheapest rate that I paid for comics. I actually once for indie paid as low as $10 per box. So, you know, it is cheap. It's not absurdly cheap. It's not the cheapest I've ever gotten in my life, but it's a good rate, one that I couldn't pass up. Now, that being said, I know basically all of this is junk from a reselling perspective. So from the standpoint of me actually going through here and picking out any kind of gems, any kind of key issues, that's extremely unlikely. There's going to be a lot of this kind of stuff, a lot of Turok #1s. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Turok #1 is the most overprinted book ever. This is the book that everybody has. If you bought comics in the 90s, you got at least one of these, if not multiples. So that thing is in every 90s collection ever. But, you know, again, there's probably not any real keys in here at all. I'd be lucky if there's stuff in here that I could sell for $5 a piece. So this is real junk. This is junk era comics. So that being said, you know, why would I buy it if it's not something that can be resold individually? It's because I'm gonna bulk this out and get more than $17 per box. That's really kind of the whole thing here. So I'm gonna look through this like I'm doing now, just kind of scan through it, see if there's anything. I mean, here's something with a $10 sticker on it. That's the Morkev 1 through 4. A lot of Authority. I'm sure #1's not in there. I had a real tough time with Authority. I had a bunch listed on eBay for a long time and nobody wanted it. This is nice that it's a run. I don't know, maybe I'll try to list that as a run, but I've had a tough time with Authority. So there may be some cool stuff in here, like weird indie stuff. I don't know if that's just a Northeast thing, that you run across weird things that you never heard of before. But that's one thing I found with indie up here in the Northeast, is just like weird titles from the 80s especially, that you'd figure would be worth something because they're so obscure and so rare. Or Happy was worth a little bit at one point. And there's probably some like good reading in here too, maybe. But from a value perspective alone, and that's one thing too that I kind of feel bad about, because, you know, I've said in my videos before for bulk selling, like just calling comics junk. I understand the art can be cool, the stories can be cool, people can collect them. Like, it's possible some people collect some of this stuff, but from a real value standpoint, right? Like from a just what I can list something on, list something at, and what I can get for it. Like this is junk here. Like this 90s image stuff, Cyberforce. No, not many people want that. Cerebus is really hard to sell. I just took all my Cerebus down. And also, one thing that I'm kind of realizing over time is that it's not just, you know, the time and energy that goes into listing things, which should be taken into consideration, but like the bagging and boarding, the cost of everything there, the cost of all the shipping supplies. So like, if I was selling these for $1 each, even if I was charging enough on shipping, it's just, is that really worth your time? Because everything has to get factored in. All of the tape, all of the printing ink, the labels, the gas it takes to go to the post office. And, these are expenses, obviously, but like at a certain point, you also want to run a profitable business. You don't want to just be doing this. I mean, unless you have a full-time job and this is just a hobby for you, that's fine. Your pal Archie. That's fine if this is just a hobby or a, side hustle kind of thing and just kind of screwing around. That's one thing, but like, if you are trying to be a full-time reseller, like trying to get whatever, $1, $5, whatever it is out of these kinds of books, like I used to really try to do that, honestly. I tried to list these things and think eventually everything sells, right? That's something that resellers say a lot. I just saw one recently. I saw some content creator who is an eBay reseller say, "Oh, look at this book. I listed it 3 years ago and it just sold for $5." Look at this thing. And that might be true, but like, this is an older book. The spine is totally split. It's destroyed. That may be true that things do sell eventually, but like, you're also got to think about all the time that you're spending listing, the space for storage, just the sort of mental toll it takes to have all of these books. Like, imagine I had all of these listed on eBay, right, individually. Just imagine that they're sitting there and I'm just like waiting, right? Just waiting day after day, week after week. Some of these are Alex Ross covers that are pretty cool. This is all Green Hornet here. But again, imagine that these are just all listed, that they're sitting on eBay, they're waiting, right? Just waiting for a buyer. And maybe, here we go, here's some more Turok number ones. Maybe I saw a Turok number 1. And then I'm just waiting. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Just waiting for it to sell. And it gets to a certain point, it's like, geez Louise, man. These things people just aren't really in the market for. And it could just be shipping cost, right? Like, that could be part of it, is if you're charging $5, $6, $7, $8 for shipping, and the book is $1 or $3 or $4, whatever. If it's exponentially more to ship it than the book is even worth, then that's probably part of it. So again, I'm not seeing anything really special. This is basically what I thought it would be. This is all just bulk, right? This is bulk comics. So I'll probably take a couple of looks through it, just make double sure, see again if there by any chance is an authority number 1 or like some kind of just random key issue that maybe they missed. The guy that I bought these from, I got the impression that like he's really picking through them, so he's making sure that he's not missing anything. He was showing me variant covers. He said something, I think, about this book. So maybe I can try to sell this MC Hammer book. He actually did specifically mention that. But I got the impression overall that like he knew his comics. He was actually selling on Whatnot, which I've been meaning to get on for years actually, and probably am losing money by not getting on there. But he's a whatnot reseller, so what I think this is these are books he actually tried to sell on live streams and people did not want. Like people didn't even want to add these to their pile of stuff that they were getting. So that tells me like these are really picked through. And honestly, in a way, that's even a little bit helpful. There's some Popeye. It's the 80s one. It is helpful though, once in a while to look through stuff like this to know this is really the bottom of the barrel, cheap reject comic stuff, because you see things in here that you may be holding on to in your own boxes, thinking eventually I'll list that, and then you see them in these kinds of boxes, and you know, like books of magic, for example. Is this number 1? That's not worth anything. I figure number 1 would be worth something. But for example, you know, books of magic or whatever, you see this kind of stuff, you know, Star Trek. You see these kinds of things in here, and it reminds you that they are worthless. Hey, look, another Turok number 1. I wonder how many Turoks we can get out of here. I've taken a picture once of just like a ton, like, you know, dozens of copies that I had from multiple collections. I wonder how big of a stack I could get together out of here. But anyway, the point I was making was it's good to kind of go through these just to see the kinds of titles, the kinds of books that are rejects, so that you can go back through your own stuff and identify even more of that and be like, yeah, okay. Maybe well, this is a beat up copy, so maybe the Highlander's not a good example, but you know, my Buck Rogers or whatever you might be holding on to, thinking, I could try to list that individually. Seeing stuff like this reminds you, maybe it's not worth the time. Maybe I can just... More Authority. Jeez. What happened with the Authority? Weren't they gonna like make a movie of that or something? What is happening here? Ugh, this is all free comic book day or something? Some kind of giveaway that nobody wanted. We got Valiant, Cerebus, Turok, whatever this Street Fighter is. It's not. It's funny because the logo kind of looks like 90s Street Fighter, but that's not 90s Street Fighter. That's 80s Street Fighter. See, this is the kind of stuff I was talking about. Life Brigade. Because has anyone ever heard of that before? So again, I'll probably go through this at least twice. I'm really just getting a real impression that it's all crap and there's really nothing worth pulling out of here. Badger, Scout, Aztec Ace. It's funny too, because like that's a cool cover, isn't it? Like, I figure some people will just want this stuff just for the cover alone, even if like the series wasn't a hit or whatever. A ton of Aztec Ace, huh? Probably multiples of that issue. Is this the same one? Well, it's also a cool cover, though. Like, I don't know. You figure people would want these books, even if they're no-name titles, like just for the covers alone. Man, this is all Aztec Ace. This whole thing here is Aztec Ace. More Cerebus. Nobody wants Cerebus. That guy, what's his name? Dave Sim. Apparently he really alienated his audience because like nobody wants that stuff unless it's, I don't know, first 20 issues or whatever. It's funny too because if you look at like books about comic book history that were published back in the late 90s, early 2000s, they'll mention Cerebus specifically. It's like, oh, this is such a groundbreaking series and all this stuff, and this paved the way for independent creators. Like, you know, kind kind of before TMNT. But nowadays, it's like, geez Louise, man. Can't give that stuff away. Fortunately, too, like, condition is also part of this. Like, some of these books, like, maybe conceivably, like here's a great example, right? Like, just look at this. This is like water damage or something. One thing, I was looking at these coyotes. Here's the number one. So there are issues of coyote. I forget if it's like 7, 8, somewhere like that. There's issues of coyote that were, it's like all number ones. I don't know if number 1 is worth anything. There's issues of coyote that Todd McFarlane got his first work in. So I forget the issue number, but you got to keep a lookout for those issues of Coyote, where it's his first published work and then his first cover. This is a cool cover, isn't it? It is sad to me because I am a comic book fan, right? Like, I'm not just a dealer. I really do appreciate the art and the stories and the history of the industry and all this stuff. And like, you just look through all this work that people did, right? Like, these aren't just books. These are the Eye of Mongumbo. What is this thing? Like, this is all work that people actually did, putting these things together. And it's kind of sad in a way. It just ends up in these bins where you're buying them for like these. I bought these comics for what, 6 cents each, 7 cents each, something like that. Jack Staff, man, I can't sell that at all. Nobody wants that. I don't know. Is there key issues of that? Because like, I have had absolutely zero luck whatsoever. I'll take some of these out. I always thought this was a really cool cover too. Unfortunately, there's a million of these things. I'm kind of a sucker for the 90s holofoil type stuff. Chrome covers, whatever they're called. Yeah, this is really like bottom of the barrel type stuff. But I can't complain because I could not have possibly gotten it for any cheaper. And if I had the time to actually sit and read comics, reading all these books would be cool. And that's the other side of this too, is like, I know a lot of people aren't going out of their way to buy this stuff again, but like, when you deal with bulk, there's another MC Hammer book. This one's torn though. When you're dealing with bulk like this, when you're buying and selling these large quantities of comics, because I've bought hundreds of long boxes before from people. I've bought overstock from shops where it's like, I actually don't even remember what the biggest one was. I know one was 200. I'm thinking the other one was like 300 or 400. It was a lot of comics, right? And when you're dealing with that many comics at that much of a discount, you kind of think about people who are going out and buying comics individually too. Where it's like kind of crazy in a way, right? Like, what is the retail value of these books theoretically? You know, if everyone was worth between $1 and $5, it would be a lot of money, but again, nobody actually wants this stuff per se. But again, you know, I guess my point is, it's kind of sad in a way, all the work that goes into these things, these pieces of art and literature, and then it just ends up almost on the verge of being garbage, right? Like just almost trash, almost getting thrown out in bins, just worth pennies. I guess it's a little bit different, obviously, because it's not a story, but this is all that MC Hammer thing. Look at this. This is all that book. All right, so maybe it's not worth much. It seems like there's a lot of them. I was hoping maybe there might be like a few DC and Marvel mixed in here that you just missed, or some independent key. I mean, there's not even any Spawn in here at all. I didn't see like a single Spawn book in this entire thing. So, if you're ever wondering what $17 long boxes look like, this is it. This is the kind of stuff you get. Again, I'm not going to complain. There's a old Porky Pig with the part of the cover missing. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to do my best to look through these one more time, pick out anything that looks cool, throw them in with some other bulk, and get more than $17 per box. That's my plan. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Check out my other comic-related videos, and I will catch you next time.